Well, I've up and done it. I got a C1 and an A1, and I melted my Redeemer to do that. And some people would say that's a bad trade, but I never really used my Redeemer. And I have other ships that are multi-crew that if I have that many people with me that I would prefer to use in most situations. So the Redeemer was always collecting dust for the most part as a hanger queen for me, despite the fact it's a potent ship. And so I got rid of it. I picked up an A1 and I picked up a C2. And not C2, C1. And the reason why I did that is for a while now we've needed a ship in this area because I'm not a fan of the Cuddy. I know a lot of people don't like that opinion, but it's trash can to me. And in terms of the Freelancer, I love the Freelancers in the effectiveness that they have. You know, they're tougher than something like the Cuddy, more firepower. They are just better ships, but they look like flying dildos with a 1990s model Buick dashboard in them. And I just can't get over their appearance no matter how much. I mean, I flew a Max for a while. I love that ship. I think the Dur, I'm going to do a whole video about the Dur one day. I believe it's a sleeper hit ship that will eventually, when we have exploration, become a very popular and useful ship unless they undermine it with something very competitive to it. But in general, I just hate looking at those ships and flying them. I'm sorry, I do. This ship looks good, and it's basically a Cuddy, but it's going to be faster and handle more. I don't really know that to be fact, but I mean, it's Crusader, so that's the thing about Crusader, is it's going to be faster. You know it's going to have more armor when we get physicalized armor, because Drake is the most, by lore, lightliest armored ship manufacturer in the game. So even though it has the same shielding, it's going to have better armor, and it's because of their, you know, in lore, Crusader, their engines are fast, and all their ships are fast. That's their thing. They handle good, and they got good engine output. We can expect this ship to be faster and have a little better armor than the Cuddy. So to me, I don't see any reason not to take it over the Cuddy. A lot of people say, well, it doesn't have but one way in. This is true. The Cuddy has the side door, so there's 3 doors on the Cuddy. You do technically have more entrances and exits in 0G in the Cuddy, but they're all in the same room. There's not an exit on the front of the ship, so if somebody is boarding you from the rear and you're outgunned, there's no escape for you out of the front of the Cuddy either. You have to go into the same room they're standing in. So what's really the difference? They'd shoot you going out the back door as quick as they're going to shoot you going out the side door if they're already boarding you from the rear. So I don't see where the front half of the Cuddy having no escape out of it is any different than not having a secondary way out of the Spirit. That's just my opinion. It's just neither one's really better than the other one there, in my opinion. I mean, you could argue that you can get stuff in and out of the side doors a little better. People with their hand tractors, I think that's true. Yes. But I think the rear tractor on this is going to be so well located. I mean, look at this. If somebody's if it slides back and somebody's remoting that and it has an angle where to kind of tuck under, you'll be able to pull stuff in, just tuck it under and set it in there. I think that's going to be fantastic. I mean, it's perfectly located to do the job, and somebody not even have to get out of their seat. It's going to be quick at just snatching that stuff up, and it's going to be quick at leaving. People say, well, it's got a big cross section, you know. Well, so does the Cuddy. You don't want a PvP in a Cuddy. I mean, that's why I call it the trash can, because it just gets shot up. You lose the engine, then it handles bad because the engine protrudes way out on the side. You have the little front wings, you lose those. You lose guns. Here, your guns are tucked onto the ship's center fuselage. You're not going to lose guns as easy. You got this much wing that can be blown off, and you still have your engine. that to me, that's just way better suited to be a more survivable ship than the Cuddy, in my opinion. You shouldn't be PvPing in either one of them. But you still have close enough DPS that you should be able to do PvE, get some PvE kills just as easily in this as you will the Cuddy. It's not going to be that much less DPS. Not enough to make you have to run easier missions. That's for sure. Might take you a few extra seconds to down a ship, but you'll still finish the same missions. You know? I think it's just a better ship. So I picked it up because I really wanted something that was one or two player, you know, a ship I could fly by myself or one other person, because I have a lot of big ships, multi-cruise ships, and I'm starting to have a lot of regrets about that, because I spend a lot of time by myself or with one other person, and I have these ships, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Maybe eventually one day I'll be in another big org like I used to be in, and maybe I'll find more use for them, or an org where not everybody in the org has the same ships, so we have 30 of each one. Like, maybe one day that'll be the case, but it's starting to look like that's not going to be the case. So I'm thinking more about ships that I can use just me or one other person, or 3 at most, and I feel like this ship's going to really work well for that. I'm really excited for it. The reason I got the A1 is because I had the extra store credit, and I really want a bomber, right? But I didn't want the A2 because it's such a big, bulky, slow ship. It's just a big mule. I just don't need that. I don't need that big giant Moab. You know, with this, I feel like if I want to run some missions, say you want to go to a mission like Ghost Hollow or something like that, and you got a friend with you, and you go and you drop a couple bombs on a pass, boom, boom, right in the middle of the thing. You kill out some of the NPCs right in the center. You land, you mop up the couple on the outside. You're in and out, do your mission, and you're gone. It'll help you speed it up. You know, I feel like, to me, you could run some ground missions a lot quicker with this, being able to drop a couple bombs first, if they're cost efficient to do so. We'll see how that works out in the end when the game gets closer, how much it's going to be, how financially viable it is to drop bombs when you go run ground missions. But if that's the case, I could see that being fun, speeding up the ground mission process, and just overall just being a cool ship to go do missions in with a friend, you know. And so to me, I don't see any reason to not buy it over the Cuddy, or, you know, I could see reasons why you would want to buy a Freelancer. Like, the Freelancer series of ships are better than the Cuddy, and they're going to probably end up being better than these too. But the problem is that they're just so horrible looking. They just don't have the charm of either ship. I mean, at least the Cuddy looks kind of cool, and these look really rad, you know. And Misk will never be nothing but a butt plug to me with a Buick dashboard, and I'll never love them. I never will, even though, like I said, the Dur is going to be quite the sweet ship, really, in the future. But anyway, that's why I bought them, why I melted my Redeemer to get them. I feel really happy about it. If I do let one go, it'll end up being the A1 most likely. You know, just because I can re-get it in game, and the C1 is actually, you know, the better all around use ship. Now the E1, I think the E1 is a really rad ship if you're wanting to get into VIP stuff. But all VIP hauling really is cargo hauling with cargo that loads itself. If you think about it, I mean, it's a cool concept. It's cool. I mean, I would like to do it, but I don't want to use any of my store credit for that. I think for the people really wanting their Genesis Starliner, it's going to be really cool for them to be able to get involved with this. It's going to be a great test bed for this stuff. I'm really excited that they did an E1. It means that stuff's coming along. The nav mesh work's coming along, and the AI work, and it's another type of mission, another type of ship, and another lifestyle, and that's all very positive. But I think I'd just rather have some bombs to drop on some ground missions, NPCs, speed up my missions, you know. And then I'd just rather have the C1 as an all-around 1 or 2 player ship, multi-role ship, I'd rather have it than the Cuddy or the Freelancer. But that's it. That's my thoughts on it. That's why I went with them. I don't know. You tell me in the comments. Which one did you get, if any? Did you get all three? Did you get two like me? How do you feel about them? Do you agree with my opinions, or you're like, oh, no way, man? Cuddy's best ship ever been, man. Because people love their Cuddys now. I'm probably going to get some hate comments, but I mean, we're all entitled to our opinions, you know. If you like the Cuddy, that's cool. I mean, I've had one before and used it for a while. But you know, I like Drake. It's not. It's just the Cuddy. It's just the Cuddy to me. It's never been what people think it is, and this is really nice to me to have something in that space to move to. But I mean, I have a Cat. I have a Corsair. I love the Herald. I think those are great ships, but that's all videos for another day. Anyway, have a good evening, and yeah, tell me what you think. What'd you get? What do you think about them? How dumb is my opinions? Can't believe I melted a Redeemer, right? Whatever, let me know. Talk to you later.